Who was P.G.T. Beauregard and what was his role in the Battle of Fort Sumter? If you're curious about the man who kicked off the American Civil War, you're in the right place. Let's talk about P.G.T. Beauregard and his significant role in the Battle of Fort Sumter. Pierre Gustave Toutant Beauregard, or P.G.T. Beauregard as he's commonly known, was a Louisiana-born military officer. Born on May 28, 1818, he was trained in military and civil engineering at the United States Military Academy at West Point. Beauregard served with distinction in the Mexican-American War as an engineer officer. In 1861, after Louisiana seceded from the Union, Beauregard resigned from the U.S. Army and became the first brigadier general in the Confederate States Army. This is where his role in the Battle of Fort Sumter becomes crucial. On March 3, 1861, Beauregard arrived in Charleston, South Carolina, to take command of the Confederate forces there. He found the harbor defenses in disarray and quickly set about strengthening them using his engineering expertise. When President Lincoln announced plans to resupply Fort Sumter, a Union-held fort in Charleston Harbor, tensions escalated. Beauregard was ordered by Confederate President Jefferson Davis to deliver an ultimatum to Major Robert Anderson, the Union commander at Fort Sumter, demanding that he evacuate the fort. When Anderson refused, Beauregard ordered the first shots of the Civil War to be fired from nearby Fort Johnson on April 12, 1861. The bombardment of Fort Sumter lasted for 34 hours, with Confederate forces firing from several batteries around the harbor. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Anderson's men held out until their supplies were nearly exhausted. On April 14, 1861, Anderson surrendered Fort Sumter to Beauregard's forces. Beauregard's victory at Fort Sumter made him a hero in the Confederacy, earning him the nickname the Hero of Fort Sumter. This battle marked the beginning of the American Civil War, a conflict that would last 4 years and claim the lives of over 620,000 Americans. After Fort Sumter, Beauregard went on to command Confederate forces in several key battles, including the First Battle of Bull Run, the Battle of Shiloh, and the Siege of Corinth. He also played a critical role in defending Petersburg, Virginia, and the Confederate capital of Richmond from Union forces in 1864. Beauregard's military career was marked by both successes and challenges, particularly due to his strained relationships with President Davis and other senior Confederate officials. However, his strategic sense and engineering skills were instrumental in several Confederate victories. After the war, Beauregard returned to Louisiana, where he advocated for black civil rights, worked as a railroad executive, and became wealthy through his involvement with the Louisiana Lottery. He passed away on February 20, 1893, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most notable figures of the American Civil War.